If you ever break my heart, the spirits that guard my bloodline will not let you rest.
I fear no spirits.
In the ancient riverside kingdom of Odu-Ala, where the moon was said to whisper warnings to those who listened, there lived a man named Tade, a man blessed with a face women admired, a voice smooth as palm wine, and a heart far too reckless for his own good. The elders often said, a handsome fool is still a fool, but Tade never listened. He was known across villages far and wide. At the marketplace, women giggled when he passed. At festivals, maidens adjusted their wrappers when they saw him. Even married women lowered their eyes when he smiled. And Tade loved every moment of it. He wore his charm like a crown. To him, love was a game. Promises were tools, and broken hearts were trophies. He and his 4 closest friends, Jide, Bayo, Kunle, and Femi, called themselves the 5 leopards, young men feared by fathers and hated by jealous husbands. Every market day, they would sit beneath the giant Iroko tree at the village square, boasting loudly of their latest conquests. Yesterday, Bayo laughed, slapping his thigh. I had 2 sisters fighting over me. Kunle raised his calabash. That is nothing. I made the chief's daughter sneak out at midnight. The others roared with laughter. Then Tade leaned back with his usual arrogant grin. You boys play with fish. I swim with crocodiles. The others turned. Tade lowered his voice. I have begun seeing Morounkeji. Silence. Even the birds seemed to stop singing. Morounkeji, the daughter of the village priestess, the woman many believed was protected by spirits, the one no man dared approach carelessly. Jide's face faded. You are lying. Tade smirked. Would I joke about such beauty? Femi's face turned pale. You're mad. Her mother speaks with the ancestors. People say strange things happen to men who toy with that family. Tade laughed so hard he nearly spilled his drink. Then let the ancestors come for me themselves. The others laughed nervously, but none matched his confidence. That night, beneath the moonlight, Tade met Morounkeji by the sacred stream. She was breathtaking, skin glowing like polished bronze, eyes deep and unreadable. She looked at him with a strange sadness. You should not be here, she whispered. But I came for you, Tade replied, taking her hand. She pulled away. No, Tade, you do not understand. I know men like you. He smiled. And what kind of man am I? The kind who leaves ashes where he once lit fire. Her words should have unsettled him. Instead, he laughed. You wound me. She stepped closer. If you ever break my heart, she said softly, the spirits that guard my bloodline will not let you rest. For the first time, Tade hesitated, but only for a second. Then he smiled again, brushing the warning aside. I fear no spirits. Morounkeji stared at him for a long moment, then gave in. And so began the affair that would destroy everything. Weeks passed. Tade became consumed with her. Even his friends noticed. You have changed, Kunle said one afternoon. Tade shrugged. She's different. Bayo laughed. Careful, the hunter is becoming the hunted. But then, just as suddenly as his obsession began, Tade grew bored. Because that was who he was. One market day, Morounkeji saw him laughing intimately with another woman behind the spice stalls. Her face hardened. That night, she came to his hut. Tell me it is not true, she said. Tade sighed with irritation. Morounkeji, do not start this. Her voice trembled. Was I just another game to you? He looked at her coldly. You knew what I was. The word struck like a spear. She stared at him, tears filling her eyes. Then she whispered, So be it. The wind outside rose suddenly. The fire in his hut flickered violently, and before Tade could speak again, she turned and vanished into the storm. The next morning, Jide was found dead in the forest. No wounds, no blood. Just his face frozen in absolute terror. The village was shaken. The elders whispered, the women wailed, the men carried his body home. Tade stood among the mourners, disturbed but unconcerned. Coincidence, he muttered. 3 days later, Bayo collapsed in the marketplace, dead before his body hit the ground. Again, no wound, no sickness, only terror on his face. Now, fear spread through the village like wildfire. The remaining leopards gathered in Tade's hut that night. Kunle's hands shook. This is no coincidence. Femi nodded frantically. She cursed us. Morounkeji cursed us. Tade slammed his fist on the cable. Enough! Men die. It happens. But even as he shouted, his own voice trembled, because deep down, he remembered her warning. The next night, Femi disappeared. They found him at dawn beside the sacred stream. His body lay still, eyes wide, mouth open as if he had died screaming. Kunle broke. He grabbed Tade by the shirt. This is your fault. Tade shoved him away. Do not blame me. You brought this upon us. Kunle ran from the hut in panic. Tade did not see him again, because by sunrise, Kunle too was dead. And then there was one, Tade, the last leopard left. The once proud womanizer who had laughed at warnings now sat alone in his hut, silent, sweating, listening to every creak in the darkness, every whisper of wind, every rustle outside his door. For the first time in his life, Tade knew fear, real fear. Then, knock, knock, knock. 3 slow knocks at his door. His blood froze. A woman's voice came from outside, soft, cold, familiar. Now you understand panic.
Tade could not move. The knocks came again. Knock, knock, knock. His throat tightened as sweat rolled down his temples. Outside his door, Morounkeji's voice floated through the darkness like smoke. You laughed when I warned you. Tade stumbled backward. No, this cannot be happening. The wooden door creaked open by itself. The fire in his hut died instantly. Darkness swallowed the room. And then she stepped in. Morounkeji. But not as she remembered her. Her wrapper flowed, though there was no wind. Her eyes glimmered strangely in the dark, and her face carried neither rage nor tears, only cold disappointment. Tade fell to his knees. Please, forgive me. She stared down at him. Did you beg forgiveness for the women whose hearts you shattered? He trembled violently. I was foolish. You were cruel. Her voice echoed unnaturally. You thought pain was entertainment because it was never yours. Tade pressed his forehead to the floor. I know now. She bent closer. No, you know fear. You do not yet know suffering. The walls of the hut shook. The air turned icy. Then suddenly, everything went black. Tade awoke at dawn, outside the village shrine. His body ached. His clothes were soaked in mud. Villagers stared at him as they passed. Some made signs against evil. Others whispered, the curse has reached him. Tade ran to the chief's compound. He burst inside without greeting. The elders gasped, have you lost your senses? The chief rose angrily. Have you lost your senses? Tade collapsed before him. Please, help me. She is killing us. The room fell silent. One elder asked quietly, Did you offend the priestess's daughter? Tade hesitated, then nodded. The chief's expression darkened. You fool. Another elder shook his head. There are wounds medicine cannot heal. Tade crawled forward desperately. There must be something, a ritual, a sacrifice. The oldest elder spoke at last. If the spirits have judged you, only repentance may soften them. Tade frowned through tears. What does that mean? It means, the elder said, you must face every life your selfishness has broken and seek to repair what can still be repaired. Tade stared in disbelief. That is all? The elder's gaze sharpened. You say that because you do not yet understand how much ruin follows a man like you. So began Tade's punishment. Not death, not yet. Something worse. He was forced to confront the wreckage of his life. First came Abeni, a woman he had promised marriage before abandoning him. She now lived in shame, mocked by villagers who called her foolish for believing him. When Tade approached her, she spat at his feet. You dare show your face? He bowed low. I came to beg forgiveness. She laughed bitterly. Can forgiveness restore what you stole from me? Tade had no answer. Then came Sade, who nearly took her own life after he disgraced her before her family. She refused to even look at him. Then Bimpe, whose fiancé left her after discovering her affair with Tade. She wept at the sight of him. You ruined everything. Each visit cut deeper. Each story shattered more of his pride. For the first time, Tade understood that broken hearts did not vanish when he walked away. They lingered, they festered, they destroyed lives. Days turned to weeks. He stopped dressing in fine clothes, stopped boasting, stopped smiling. He moved through the village like a ghost, burdened by guilt. But every night, Morounkeji returned, watching, waiting, always asking the same question. Have you truly changed, or do you merely fear death? And Tade never knew how to answer, because part of him still did fear death more than remorse. But then one evening, after another haunting visit, Morounkeji gave him a final warning. You have begun the path, but repentance without sacrifice is empty. Tade swallowed hard. What more must I do? Her eyes burned into his. A debt of pain remained unpaid. Before he could ask what she meant, she vanished. The next morning, the village awoke to screams. Tade rushed outside. His mother's hut was on fire. Flames devoured the roof. Villagers ran with buckets. Tade screamed and tried to enter, but men held him back. It is too late! He collapsed as the roof caved in. Inside, his mother perished. That night, Tade sat in the ashes of her home, broken, destroyed, and for the first time, he did not cry for himself. He cried because his sins had spread beyond him, because innocent people were paying for what he had done. Then he looked toward the shrine and whispered, I will do whatever it takes.
That night, Tade went barefoot to the sacred grove where no ordinary villager dared tread after sunset. The wind hissed through the trees like whispering spirits. Owls cried overhead. Branches cracked beneath his trembling feet. Yet he did not turn back. At the center of the grove stood the ancient shrine of the ancestors, stone darkened by centuries of sacrifice, marked with white chalk and palm oil. Morounkeji stood beside it, waiting. She looked at him silently. Tade dropped to his knees. I have lost everything, he said, voice raw. My friends are dead. My mother is gone. My life is ashes. He lifted his head. Tell me what must be done. For the first time since the curse began, something softened in her eyes. You finally speak without pride. Tade bowed lower. Please. Morounkeji turned toward the shrine. The ancestors demand balance. A man who spent his life taking must now spend his life giving. He frowned. I do not understand. She faced him. You will leave this village. You will wander from town to town for 7 seasons. Where you once deceived women, you will now protect them. Where you once caused pain, you will now heal it. Where men prey on the weak, you will stand in their way. Tade blinked. That is all? Her expression hardened. You call 7 years of exile all because you still do not grasp the weight of what you owe. He lowered his head quickly. I accept. Morounkeji stepped forward. If you fail, if you return to your old ways, death will find you before the next moon. The air shook. The shrine glowed faintly. Then everything went still. The curse had not ended, but its final judgment had begun. By sunrise, Tade had left Odu-Ala. No farewell, no possessions beyond a small satchel and walking staff. The villagers watched in silence as the once arrogant leopard walked away alone. None pitied him. His first year was suffering. He slept in forests, begged for food, worked farms for scraps. Many villages knew his reputation before he arrived. Stories traveled fast. Women spat when they heard his name. Men mocked him. Is this the great Tade, the heartbreaker turned beggar? He accepted every insult because he knew he deserved them. Then, one afternoon, in the village of Ayetoro, he saw a drunken trader dragging a young woman by the wrist behind a palm wine stall. She cried out, "Leave me!" The old Tade might have walked away. The new Tade did not. He stepped between them. Let her go. The trader sneered. Mind your business. Tade's jaw tightened. I said let her go. A fight broke out. Though battered and bloodied, he drove the man away. The girl stared at him in shock. Why help me? Tade wiped blood from his mouth. Because once I was the kind of man who would have laughed at your pain. She did not understand, but she thanked him. And for the first time in years, Tade felt something unfamiliar. Not pleasure, not pride, purpose. Years passed. Tade changed, truly changed. He became known not as a seducer, but a protector. In one village, he stopped a forced marriage. In another, he exposed a wealthy elder abusing servant girls. In another, he rescued widows being cheated of inheritance. Stories spread. People began calling him the redeemed leopard. Yet, despite his growing reputation, he never stopped carrying guilt. Every good deed felt too small against the mountain of damage he had caused. Then, in the 7th year, he returned to Odu-Ala. The village fell silent when he walked through its gates. Children whispered, old men stared. Women who once cursed his name now looked uncertain. He was no longer the handsome, reckless youth they remembered. He was harder now, scarred, weathered, humbled. He went straight to the sacred grove. Morounkeji waited there, just as she had 7 years before. You returned, she said. Tade bowed deeply. I kept my vow.
She studied him for a long moment, then asked the question she had asked 100 times before. "Why did you do it?" He answered without hesitation. "Because I finally understood that every person I used was someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's future. Because I was a coward who treated love like sport. Because pain does not disappear simply because the one who caused it walks away." Morounkeji said nothing. He continued, "I do not ask for reward. I do not ask for your love. I do not even ask to live. I only ask that if judgment still comes, let it fall on me alone." The grove went silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. Morounkeji stepped closer. Then she smiled, for the first time since the curse began.
Morounkeji's smile was not one of romance. It was the quiet smile of someone who had waited a very long time to see truth take root in another person. "The man who stood before me 7 years ago is gone," she said. Tade kept his head bowed. "He deserved to die." She nodded slowly. "Yes." The word struck him harder than any blow. "But the man before me now," she continued, "has suffered, changed, and chosen to become what he once mocked." Tade looked up, eyes uncertain. "Then, is the curse over?" Morounkeji turned toward the shrine. "The ancestors will decide." The earth beneath them trembled. A powerful wind rushed through the grove, whipping dust and leaves into the air. The shrine stones glowed bright white. Voices, deep, ancient, layered, seemed to rise from nowhere and everywhere at once. Tade dropped to his knees. The ground cracked before the shrine. From the opening rose a carved staff wrapped in white cloth and red beads. Morounkeji lifted it carefully. "The ancestors have spoken." She turned to him. "They spare your life." Tade exhaled sharply, almost collapsing from relief. But Morounkeji raised a hand. "Do not rejoice too quickly. Mercy is not freedom from consequence." His relief faded. "What does that mean?" She placed the staff in his hands. "This is the staff of witness. It is given only to those marked by judgment and mercy alike." He frowned. "What must I do with it?" Morounkeji's voice became solemn. "You will remain protector of this land. Where men abuse power, you will confront them. Where women and children are preyed upon, you will defend them. Where injustice thrives, you will not look away." Tade swallowed. "For how long?" She met his eyes. "For the rest of your life." The villagers gathered by evening when news spread. They watched in disbelief as Tade emerged from the sacred grove carrying the ancestral staff. Some gasped, some knelt. The oldest elder stepped forward. "The ancestors have marked him." Another whispered, "A sinner spared, but sentenced to service." The chief approached. "Then from this day forward, Tade is no longer counted among reckless men. He shall serve this kingdom as guardian of the weak." The crowd murmured. Some accepted it, others did not, because not everyone believed redemption should erase past sins. And Tade never asked them to. The years that followed were not easy. Many still hated him. Some women refused to forgive him. Some families would not let him near their homes. And every time he passed the graves of his friends or the place where his mother's hut once stood, his chest tightened with old pain. Because redemption had not erased his losses. It had only given them meaning. Tade became feared by wicked men. Bandits learned to avoid villages under his watch. Corrupt chiefs learned to fear exposure. Predators who once hid behind wealth or status found no shelter when Tade arrived. His legend spread beyond rivers and forests. Children who heard the stories thought he had always been a hero. But elders would shake their heads and say, no, he became one. Yet, through all those years, Morounkeji remained distant. Never cruel again, but never close. She watched him from afar like one who had forgiven, yet not forgotten. And though Tade still loved her, he never pursued her. He believed he had forfeited that right long ago. Then one moonlit night, many years later, she came to him by the sacred stream where they first met. Older, now wiser, still radiant. You kept your vow, she said. Tade gave a small smile. I had no choice. She smirked. You had many choices. You simply chose well. He looked at her quietly. What do you want from me now? Morounkeji stepped closer. Nothing. She reached for his hand. I came because the ancestors judged you long ago, but I had to judge your heart for myself. Tade's breath caught, and her eyes softened. And I believe the man before me now is worthy of peace.
Tade stood frozen by the sacred stream, Morounkeji's hand resting gently in his. For a moment, he could not speak. The same woman who had once stood before him as the herald of his ruin now stood before him as the witness of his transformation. Tade said quietly, You owe me nothing. Morounkeji smiled. This is not payment for suffering. She stepped closer. It is recognition of truth. Tade searched her face. After everything I did, how can you still look at me this way? Her voice was calm. Because the worst thing a person has done is not always the only thing they are capable of becoming. Tade's eyes filled. For a man who once used affection carelessly, that single sentence struck deeper than any curse ever had. In time, the village celebrated a union many once believed impossible. Tade and Morounkeji were married beneath the ancient Iroko tree, where he and his friends had once bragged about conquest and broken hearts. The irony was not lost on anyone. The same place that once witnessed arrogance now witnessed humility. The elders smiled. The women who once cursed Tade watched in astonishment. Some forgave him at last. Others never fully did. And Tade accepted both. Because redemption, he had learned, does not guarantee everyone will forget. Years later, when children gathered around moonlit fires asking for stories, the elders would tell them of the last leopard, the man who chased pleasure without wisdom, who mocked warnings, who lost everyone he loved, and who learned too late that every careless action carries a cost. But they would also tell how he changed, how pain broke him, how guilt remade him, how a selfish man became a guardian, and they always ended with the same warning. He who treats hearts like toys may one day find his own shattered by fate. And another, the ancestors punish pride, but honor true repentance. As for Tade, he lived the rest of his life in service, never again abusing the trust of others, never again treating affection as sport, never again forgetting the graves that taught him wisdom. And when he finally died, old, scarred, and respected,
The whole kingdom mourned him, not because he had lived a perfect life, but because he had become proof that even the worst among us can change if they are willing to pay the price.